What's up, folks, and welcome to Indie Ramble. So, you gotta forgive the little bit of a different intro today, but I thought this was important because there's a key announcement that we have to make here today. I'm happy to report that I believe we have reached the apex of gaming. I don't believe games literally have the power to evolve as an art form more than they have now. It's only downhill from here. You might even say we've reached the pinnacle of entertainment software. And it's a sobering time, but one that I think is also worth celebrating. For you see, today, my friends, well, we have now reached, yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go. Now, let's see you clear them. How does it get any better than this? I really don't know. Oh my, yes. Welcome in, everybody. I just had to cover this. This has been a bit of a buzz since it came out, but I had to do my own thing on it because this is so ridiculous and so delightful. I just had to do it. So, yeah, that is what it is. This is the actual title of this video game. And it warms my heart that we live in an era where this kind of ridiculous parody content can not only exist, but can make some people money. Because this game takes the piss out of a very particular kind of concept, and it does it in a hilarious way. And they're charging money for it, but not very much. And it's actually pretty fun in a WarioWare kind of way. So, yeah, so what is this game? Well, basically, it's... If you've played mobile games like at all, at least the predatory free-to-play kind that makes up 95% of mobile games, you have probably seen those ads that often run. Mobile games and podcasts are the only two industries in the world I've seen where the majority of their advertising seems to be for competing products. Never understood how that works. But you've probably seen these ads for these mobile games that are like, you know, do this crazy thing or rescue this person or do this to save this. And then you go there and the game is nothing like that. It's a garbage, like, match 3 with microtransactions in it. This game basically makes fun of those ads by turning them into real games. Like, a full circle, am I right? Yeah. So, okay, quick little tour here and I'm going to show you what these look like. Because this doesn't need to be a long video. It really doesn't. So, you have missions in this, which are kind of like achievements. They're just objectives to do certain things. You also have daily missions. These are all really easy, and they give you a large number of coins as reward. Those are not microtransaction coins. Those are just in-game currency that you earn. What do you spend that in-game currency on? Title plates. That's it. Like I said, this game is complete sarcasm. And it is soaking in it. So... yeah, and you earn these all ridiculous titles. There's no online in this game. It's completely irrelevant in every way, but that's what you get for it. So you get these utterly meaningless rewards. I don't actually know what these other two menu options are. I haven't unlocked them yet, even though I played this for a while now, and I can't find any news on what those are. So we'll have to leave that a little bit of a mystery. And yes, then we get into the actual game. So it's interesting. This game was actually, made by Monkeycraft, which is a company best known for making the actually very excellent re-releases, modern re-releases of the Katamari Damacy games, as well as the Klonoa re-release they did. They actually do pretty good work, and this is their thing. Clearly, I think this was some employees' like little pet project that they were working on, probably just to put out on the internet for free as a joke, and they went, hey, that's a cool idea, why don't we do that? So, yeah. So, alright, let's show you, these are all the games that we have here. There's been no announcements of if they're going to add more. I hope they do. But I'm going to show you a quick little tour of each of these. So, yeah, let's back out here. So you got Pinball, Number Tower, Parking Lot, Cash Run, and Color Lab. And all of these are going to probably look pretty familiar if you've ever played any bad mobile games, which is almost all of them. But like I said, these are based on those ads and sort of taking the piss out of them. There's a different number of levels for each of the games. They don't all... So Pinball is the biggest. It has 100 levels. It does not have... It has more than most of the others. Number Tower has 50. Parking Lot, unfortunately, only has 25. This is my favorite one. So I'm a little bummed that this ends at 25. And then Cash Run has 25. And then Color Lab has 50. And when you start the game off, you don't have access to all of them. You have to... You get 1 IQ point for each puzzle you finish. I've crossed the line where everything is now unlocked. And that's what's kind of cool about this, is you can choose to approach things in any order. I've been just doing them, you know, linearly, but you could jump all the way to the end if you like. And the thing is, a lot of these mini games start off pretty easy, and actually they go that way for quite a while. You can see every Pinball so far I've 3-starred. But they start ramping up. Those last 2 levels of friggin'... those last 2 levels of Parking Lot are vicious. So I'm going to show you here a little bit about... you see, I already screwed this one up. So what these do is they evolve. So your main goal in Pinball is to get your guy either to the treasure in the level or to take out all the enemies in a level, or sometimes both. And you have to do that by removing pins. I mean, duh, right? It's pretty easy. So, let me jump ahead a little bit. So you do that, and then as you get further along, you're going to run into enemies. And some of the enemies, well, all the enemies will attack you first, but the enemies will also attack each other. Different types of enemies, it's like a hierarchy. Different types of enemies will go after each other. And you have to arrange things such that that gets dealt with. So, for example, here, big oaf goes after little oaf, and then we drop a rock on him, and we win. And there's 3 stars that are all tied to completion time. So it's all based on how quickly you can get through the level. And more stars gets you more coins. You only get 1 IQ, which is just for beating the level. It doesn't matter. And then you get a little bit of coins for each one completed. And then if you complete the daily missions, you get larger amounts. And what you do is, to unlock those additional titles that I told you, you got to go to the gotcha machine. So you get 1 cheap spin, and then they get more expensive after that. So you do this, and you unlock the title, Cinephile, because why not? Right? And then I earned another 1,000 and 5,000 for completing all the daily missions. The daily missions are trivially easy, but you get a ridiculous amount of coins for them. This game... It's not trying to be serious, not even remotely, and that's what I love about it. It's completely... It's taking the piss out of this whole concept, and it's a game that is based around making fun of one of the worst things about mobile games, and God knows there's a lot to dislike about most mobile games. Oh, no, I screwed that up. But every single part of it is designed to make fun. And that's what I think is just the best about this. I love what they're doing, and I screwed that up again too. Funny, I beat this level like my first try, but oh dang. So, and everything about this is just designed to make fun of a dumb concept, and I love that. So let's go over to Number Tower here, and we'll see. So this is kind of like a little mini math game, basically, and I already screwed that one up. Basically, you have to take out all of the rooms in the level. So it's not just the enemies, but it's that you have to clear all of the rooms as well. And the way you do that is you can only attack and win against monsters that have a lower number than you. But you absorb their number when you kill them. So you have to make a point of doing things in a certain order, killing the monsters in certain orders and getting power-ups in certain orders, or in some cases, power downs in certain orders in order to be able to clear everything out. That's what you have to do. You have to clear everything. You can't leave anything behind, including the things that are bad for you. So, you know, pretty easy concept overall, but again, this ramps up later on for sure. So, like, if I jump down here, you've got... This was a bit of an interesting one, actually, that I was having trouble with. So, see, at the start here, it doesn't seem too hard, right? And then you got to go down here, and you take out this, like this. And then you see it starts doing division, right? So this is where things get interesting. But you got to be careful about this because So you have to make sure you do this in the right order. So you got to be fast if you want to get all 3 stars. But if you're not careful, you can screw yourself over. Now, I didn't in this case, but there's been a few of these where I've gotten like halfway into it and I was like, I totally boned the math on that. Math is not my strong suit. I work in IT, and the joke I always make is I don't do math, I fix the things what do the math for you. And that's very much the case so here. So I'm not the best with mathematics. But that's the idea here. And it's really neat because it makes you think fast. And these, equations, if you will, definitely will ramp up as you go. And some of the latter ones are just completely banana cakes, as you might expect. The game is not designed to be overly hard on purpose because, again, it's kind of making fun of these mobile game ads that at least the ads themselves are advertising stuff that's just ridiculous. Right, where it's like, you see, I boned this one up here because I'm going to get this guy, and that's going to only take me to $1.30, and wah. Nope. And that's the thing. The concepts of those games are stupid simple, right? And they're designed to be. But so it's kind of making fun of that. But this is not a game you can just blow your way through in a few minutes. It definitely will challenge you a little bit. So this is one I've quite enjoyed. This is my favorite one. It's called Parking Lot, and it's very simple. Your goal is to get all the cars out, but if cars bump into each other on the road, you'll see that they slow each other down, and you'll get screwed up on the time otherwise. But and what you can do in this is you're actually allowed to make the cars run into each other. There's no penalty for that. And in fact, in a decent number of the later levels, you actually have to do that. You have to get the cars to run into each other in order to actually complete the levels. And you have to time things in a certain way in order to get them through in 3 stars. Later parts of the level, you're going to have these tool bags that actually get in your that actually are walking around, and if you hit them, it's an insta fail. So you got to pay attention to that too in order to get things moving the way that you want. And there we go. So kind of a simple idea. I really like this because, well, I'm kind of good at it. I'm able to look at it and focus really quick and sort of zone in on what I need to do, and I get pretty good at it. But then in the later levels, I spent about half an hour on this one yesterday, and I didn't get close to figuring it out. It's not that I was not getting a good time. I just couldn't finish it. I'd get there eventually if I stared at it long enough. But still, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, this thing, but it's neat because it does ramp up and it will initially just give you that satisfaction of getting 3 stars with almost no effort, i.e. what a lot of mobile games do to start you off and get you hooked into them. And then it ramps up and gets particularly hard later, which in the mobile game world is normally how they get you to spend money, but this game doesn't want you to. This game just expects you to get, to get good at it. And the hilarious thing, if we go back into the missions here, like, some of these missions, these global missions, are completely bonkers. Like, so there's mixed challenge. I think this is one of the hidden things I haven't unlocked yet, which sounds like it gives you a mix of levels in the different kinds of, from the different games, which is actually pretty cool. But it's here, clear color lab challenge, so there's a challenge mode as well. You probably unlock those by beating the entirety of one of the mini games as well. So there we go. But as you can see here, there's beating on different difficulty levels, and there's also clear all the stages. There's one here, like, earn a total of 1 million coins. Like, do you have any idea how long that would take, at least without cheating? Like, it's completely nuts. Collect 750 stars. Like, you would probably have to beat the game multiple times in order to do that. And these are ludicrous, and they absolutely know it. I guarantee you that they know these things are ridiculous. And every single thing about this game is designed to be sarcastic in a great way. So here's Cash Run. This one, this is probably my least favorite, but that's not to say it's bad. So the way this one works is you have to pick up cash, and you have to spend some of it in order to build stairways to get you over obstacles. but you need to escape the level with as much cash as possible in order to get the stars. It's not actually time-based in this because it runs at a consistent pace, right? So you have to you have to try to get through the you have to get through the level with as much money as possible, but you have to spend money in order to get to the end. And you saw there at the top there were these little sort of choices that you can make, basically, which will impact how much money you get or how much... I believe that bar over your head is fame, which I think affects like your multiplier or something like that. So you have to sort of choose that, and you can see here there's multiple points. So you can take the virus if you want. I don't have any money here right now, but that's okay. That sort of poison stuff will sap a little bit of your money away. And then you can go down here if you want and pick up a bunch of money this way, and you can choose. So yeah, you can see rich. I'm rich there, but that's separate from the star rating. So there, yeah, I'm a celebrity there, but I only got 2 stars. So you kind of see how it works, right? And you have to find your path through, and you have to get actually really good at timing with this, because you have to make sure that you only spend as much money. If you want to get all 3 stars, that is, you have to only spend as much money as you have to get over an obstacle. You can spend more, but if you do, you might not get the star that you want, right? So that's something you have to be mindful of. So let's just go through here and go study, and then let's go to the casino. So this one just introduces you to the choices, so there really isn't too much to that here. So that one's an easy 3-star because it's just introducing mechanics. But you have to land that timing really well if you want to get the most amount of money, but also, but also be able to clear all the obstacles. So the challenge in this one is cool. I've just found it's very finicky because you have to shave everything right close in order to make sure that you can get over the objects and not spend more than you have to. I found that to be at times a little frustrating because it's maybe not frame perfection that it demands, but it requires way more precision than most of the other games in a way where I'm kind of like, that's not really my jam. But that's me. I can see a lot of people who would probably really like this game the most, actually. You know, especially speedrunners and stuff are going to figure out like the absolute frame perfect runs for this, which I think would be pretty cool. I'd actually love to see a speed run of this game. Someone who just blitzes through all the puzzles. That would actually be pretty sick. So yeah, so you get the idea with that one. That's Cash Run. And then finally we have Color Lab. And this one is pretty simple. You've got to put all the colors that are available into individual test tubes. And you got to move things around in order to make that happen. And I already screwed up. So what you got to do is, yeah, you've got to move these things about. And again, you've got to do it as quick as possible so that you can get the 3 stars if you want to max that out. So you just move things like this. This entire game is played with the D-pad or the analog stick and 1 button. So it is not complicated. Let's put it that way. So I didn't quite make 3 stars, but you saw what you had to do there, and that's how you've had to move it. So far, to the point that I've gotten in this, the game hasn't introduced any new mechanics beyond the 3rd level. You can see in the level select screen there, you could probably see that there were some. There we go. You could probably see in the level select screen there that sometimes there's icons over certain levels. Yeah, that's what indicates that there's like instructions that are happening there. I think this one is the simplest in concept. I don't think this game is going to introduce a lot more. It might. It may very well surprise me. So don't quote me on that. But it's possible. But yeah, so far I've enjoyed this one actually because I've done reasonably well at it. And at the same time, it hasn't been brutally hard yet, but I have no doubt it's aiming to get there. So, there we go. I'm not going to make 3 on this because I did too many extra moves, but almost. So, But the nice thing about this is, because these puzzles only take a few seconds apiece in most cases, this is very much a game you can play, very fast. Very short periods of time, very quick bursts. You can do 1 or 2 puzzles when you have a few minutes and then come back later if you want, or you can just grind out the whole lot as well. Either way is a valid strategy. And I think dependent on the type of personality you are, in terms of like if you're more of a pattern-driven learner or something like that, some games will probably be easier for you than others. Some games, as I said, have been easier for me than others. So that kind of changes, things up a little bit as well. Like I said, there's no online in this. I think there are online leaderboards in this, so they've already been ruined by people using Cheat Engine, though, I mean, I'm sure that's kind of the point as well. I could be wrong about that, actually. I thought I saw them in here, but, yeah, maybe not. Anyway, but, yeah, this game is ridiculous. It's irreverent, and it found a way to make sarcasm fun. It is a good way to put it, I think. And that is a great achievement, in my humble opinion. Being able to make something like this that is literally built as a joke to take the piss out of a crappy exploitative industry that really deserves to have the piss taken out of it, and yet they made a game that's fun and that they, I think, are frankly quite reasonably selling for money, because this is actually enjoyable. And it's so rare. Humor in games in general is so hard to land, and most people can't pull it off. And doing this kind of parody thing in video games is almost unheard of. There has never been... It's funny, there was actually a publisher in the 90s, in like the CD-ROM era, that was actually called Parody, as in Parrot E Interactive, that tried to build an entire business over just making games that made fun of other games. It was bonkers, and they didn't last very long, because that's an insanely hard thing to do. But these guys pulled it off. It was clearly some guy's fun project that they decided to turn into a game. This is very different to what Monkey Craft has made before, so kudos to them for pulling that off, and kudos to D3 Publisher, which is part of Bandai Namco, to actually say, yeah, we'll put this out. Why not? This, why not have some ridiculous fun? That's not the guy I meant to do that to. They just went, why not? Let's have some ridiculous fun, and just do, this dumb thing, because why not? And it looks like, at least on PC, it's been selling well, and it's people seem to be liking it. So really kudos to them for that. I really hope this game comes out on everything. I mean, I'm sure it costs practically nothing to make, especially in the scope of modern video games. So I'm sure it would not be a big deal. Whoops. I'm sure it would not be a big deal to put this out everywhere else. This is a perfect Switch game, undoubtedly a perfect Steam Deck game. It clearly doesn't need a lot of horsepower to run, and it's good fun. It's not going to be for everyone's cup of tea. If you're not into the sort of micro game thing that, sort of like WarioWare or something like that, then you're probably not going to dig this. If this doesn't look deep enough for you, it probably isn't. I'll be honest. But if you just want some good, dumb fun at a cheap price, and that'll make you smile because of what it's taking, what it's making fun of, I highly recommend it. So that is... Yeah, you want those games, right? So here you go. Now let's see you clear them. I don't know how they're SEOing this, but they must have figured out a way to do it. And it is not for everyone, but it is the kind of dumb joke that I can definitely get behind. I recommend it. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I do appreciate it. If you liked what you saw here, please do all the normal YouTube things. Those do help the channel out a great deal. Leave a comment down below. Tell me, what do you think of this? Does this look in any way appealing to you? What is some of your dumbest mobile game ads that you've seen? Either tell me about them, or if someone's got them on YouTube, link to them, because I'd love to see that, because some of these things are utterly bananas, and you really wonder how they sell games, and the fact that they do is kind of a sad story. But yeah, they are. I love seeing that stuff. It's so ridiculous to me. And as always, you can follow me over at twitch.tv/pxabstraction for multiple variety streams a week. I cover other indie games as well as retro stuff there, including a bunch of games that are better suited to streaming than YouTube. We have a fantastic community there, and I'd love to see you be a part of it. Thanks again, all, and I'll see you on the next Indie Ramble. You folks have yourselves a good one. Take her easy. Can't believe I covered this.